No one.
Okay.
We're all in the temple chanting.
Okay. Again then. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Om Shabbat Paraman Nibrajacharya Stotras Shri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Raj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Ho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Nigiri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Navadip Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Ki Jai, Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Jamana Mai Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Go Day.
Welcome everybody to Srimad Bhagavatam with His Holiness Jayādvaita Swami. It is Wednesday, August 6th, 2025. Today we're starting with Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 20, Text 25. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay. Starting with 25, I'll begin. Sa uttama mahan mukha chyoto bhavat padamboja sudha kanani la smritim punar vismrita tattva vartmanam priyoginam no vitarati alam varai. Translation. My dear Lord, you are glorified by the selected verses uttered by great personalities. Such glorification of your lotus feet is just like saffron particles. When the transcendental vibration from the mouths of great devotees carries the aroma of the saffron dust of your lotus feet, the forgetful living entity gradually remembers his eternal relationship with you. Devotees thus gradually come to the right conclusion about the value of life. My dear Lord, I therefore do not need any other benediction but the opportunity to hear from the mouth of your pure devotee. Purport. It is explained in the previous verse that one has to hear glorification of the Lord from the mouth of a pure devotee. This is further explained here. The transcendental vibration from the mouth of a pure devotee is so powerful that it can revive the living entity's memory of his eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In our material existence, under the influence of illusory Maya, we have almost forgotten our eternal relationship with the Lord, exactly like a man sleeping very deeply who forgets his duties. In the Vedas, it is said that every one of us is sleeping under the influence of Maya. We must get up from this slumber and engage in the right service, for thus we can properly utilize the facility of this human form of life. As expressed in a song by Thakura Bhaktivinoda, Lord Chaitanya says, Jiva Jago, Jiva Jago. The Lord asks every sleeping living entity to get up and engage in devotional service so that his mission in this human form of life may be fulfilled. This awakening voice comes through the mouth of a pure devotee. Ramaj, would you like to speak at this point?
You can go on reading.
A pure devotee always engages in the service of the Lord, taking shelter of his lotus feet, and therefore he has a direct connection with the saffron mercy particles that are strewn over the lotus feet of the Lord. Although when a pure devotee speaks, the articulation of his voice may resemble the sound of this material sky, the voice is spiritually very powerful because it touches the particles of saffron dust on the lotus feet of the Lord. As soon as a sleeping living entity hears the powerful voice emanating from the mouth of a pure devotee, he immediately remembers his eternal relationship with the Lord, although up until that moment he had forgotten everything. For a conditioned soul, therefore, it is very important to hear from the mouth of a pure devotee who is fully surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord without any material desire, speculative knowledge, or contamination of the modes of material nature. Every one of us is kuyogi because we have engaged in the service of this material world, forgetting our eternal relationship with the Lord as his eternal loving servants. It is our duty to rise from the Kuyoga platform to become Suyogis, perfect mystics. The process of hearing from a pure devotee is recommended in all Vedic scriptures, especially by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One may stay in his position of life. It does not matter what it is, but if one hears from the mouth of a pure devotee, he gradually comes to the understanding of his relationship with the Lord, and thus engages in his loving service, and his life becomes completely perfect. Therefore, this process of hearing from the mouth of a pure devotee is very important for making progress in the line of spiritual understanding. Ramaj, would you like to comment here?
Shalakaya Chakshun Militam Jaina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Shapadantikam Bande Hang Shri Go Shri Jataka Shri Guru Vaishnavam Shri Pam Shajatam Grantam Stam Sajivam Shadvaitam Savatutam Prijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Shahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan He Krishna Karunando Dino Jagatve Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kamshana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Oripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindho Pyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityanand Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Shri Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Sotama Shloka Mahan Mukha Chuto Bhavat Padam Bhoja Shutha Kananila Smritam Punar Vismrita Tattva Vartmanam Kuyoginam No Vitaratyalam Varai. The verse is very nice. The glorification of Uttama Shloka, Uttama Shloka. The verse itself illustrates that the Lord is Uttama Shloka because it glorifies him in transcendental poetic verse. Mahan Mukha Chuta, the Shuta Anila, Pavat Padamboja Shuta Kananila. From the Mahan Mukha Chuta, fallen from the mouths of the devotees is this nectar, which is just like saffron particles. It carries the aroma of the dust of your lotus feet. It carries the dust of the aroma of your lotus feet. Padam Puja Shuddha. Shuddha means the nectar, yes. Shuddha Kananila. The breeze with the soothing breeze with the particles of nectar from your lotus feet. It may appear to be ordinary writing, it may appear to be ordinary sound, but actually this is what it is. It's the breeze carrying particles of nectar from the lotus feet of the Lord. And Smritim Punam, Vismrita Vartmanam, for those who are on the path of forgetfulness of the Lord, the Kuyogis. Kuyogi, there's Suyogi and Suyogi is a very good yogi, and Kuyogi is a bad yogi. Person's not in the line of devotional service. Naha, he counts himself to be among them. Smritim Puna, Vitarati. This glorification brings about our remembrance, helps us remember the Lord again. Or Prabhupada translate, one gradually remembers his eternal relationship with you, and devotees gradually come to the right conclusion about the value of life. This is how Prabhupada defines or contextualizes remembrance of our relationship with you. It involves coming to the right conclusion about the value of life. Sambandha Gyan. Sambandha means our relationship. Sambandha Gyan, which means understanding, first of all, the conclusion. What is life for? Who are Who is the Lord? What is our relationship? This is called Sambandha Gyan. Sambandha, reestablishing the relationship. Like a lost child. He's lost because he's forgotten his relationship with his family. So first he has to, that relationship has to be restored. And when it's restored, there'll naturally be loving dealings between the child and the family, abhideya. And naturally, love will be remembered. The loving relationship will be remembered, prayojan. So the living entity, now we're forgetful. Asambandha. Asambandha. We've forgotten our relationship with Krishna. But by proper hearing, we can remember that relationship again. And alam varahi. Navitarati alam varahi. There's no need of any other benediction. It's useless. We particularly don't want this benediction of liberation. We want the blessing of being able to revive our relationship with Krishna. For that reviving hearing, repeated hearing of the transcendental sound from the pure devotees will help us. It's implied that we don't want to hear from those who are not devotees, the gyanis, the anyone else. Gyanis, sahajas, this, that. We want to hear from the pure devotees. The Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has a commentary. Why do you not desire liberation, which is very rarely achieved, even by great knowers of truth? This idea is expressed by ironic condemnation, vyaja stuti. Just the breeze touching a particle of the nectar of your lotus feet. What to speak of an actual particle of nectar? No, just the breeze. Anila, carrying the nectar or carrying an actual particle. So the breeze is so nice, what to speak of the particle, and what to speak of the nectar itself. Anything related to topics of your qualities produces remembrance of your lotus feet. It produces remembrance for those who have forgotten the truth. I have forgotten just now the truth concerning Paramatma, Atma, and body, taught by you in verse 9, showing their natures by similarity and difference. Thus, I am a bad yogi, kuyoginam, since I desire to remember difference rather than forget it. This is the ironic condemnation. Enough of benedictions, of being stuck on the path of forgetting differences between you and the jiva through kaivalya. I have no use for other benedictions, since I'm simply determined to taste your topics. I am a bad yogi, most fallen. Since I could not become a good yogi on the path practiced, why would I desire kaivalya? And how can I desire to attain power and wealth, since I'm completely satisfied just by tasting the honey of your lotus feet, like a bee, which is just an insect. Thus, indirectly the superiority of the devotee is indicated. So he's praising the glories of hearing from the devotee. This indirectly condemns everything else, such as jnana karmadhyanavartam, fruit activities, mental speculation, merging with the Supreme, and so on. All right, there's some questions.
Yes. Guru Maharaj, your connection is a little weak, your Wi-Fi connection.
Well, let's see which one I'm on. Hold on. Let's see if there's something better. Oh, yeah. Okay, let me see if I can switch it. Hold on. Thank you for that. Oh, I think the usual connection has been disconnected. Oh, no, there it is. Okay, let's see if I can get it. There we go.
Hare Krishna.
I've tried to switch to a better connection.
Okay.
There are questions?
Yeah. Praveen Prabhu writes, when is it that we remember eternal relationship with the Lord? Is it when we start chanting Hare Krishna or much more?
Less when we hear. Chanting is the second thing. The first thing is hearing. Shravanam kirtanam. Without Shravanam, there won't be any kirtanam. So Shravana is the beginning, therefore it's emphasized here. Hearing from the mouths of the pure devotees. That's what will enable us to remember. Prabhupada said, my Guru Maharaj, Mark, this boy likes to hear. And Prabhupada said, because I was enthusiastic about hearing, now I'm enthusiastic about chanting or preaching. So hearing is especially important. There may be some revival by this or that method, by good fortune. Want to see something that reminds one of something, but especially hearing. Just like Vilvamangala Thakur, he heard from his prostitute, "Oh, Vilvamangala, if only you had so much love for Krishna as you do for the miserable body of a woman, how your life would be nice." So just that hearing was powerful and changed his life. So the hearing, the book distribution also allows people to hear from the mouths of the mouth of a pure devotee. Oh, hearing, 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 hearing. Hearing is the beginning.
So,
And from hearing, then we think, well, let me chant. Some devotee says, please chant Hare Krishna. And then by hearing the vibration from pure devotee, we also think, all right, let me chant. Otherwise, how does anyone get started in chanting? First, we have to hear. Hare Krishna.
Saraswati Mataji writes, Pranams Param Puja Maharaj and all the Vaishnavas. I came across these lines, in quotes, but though I wanted to hear, I did not want to listen. How can we prevent this from happening to us? There's another question, but maybe we should stop there.
Yeah. Therefore, by humility, by culture of humility, and maybe by getting beaten up. If we get beaten up by material nature, then we want to hear what to do, what to do. and we lose our, what's the word? Our obstinate, arrogant nature. Just like Kaliya, he got beaten up by Krishna. And when he was totally beaten up, then he became submissive. So sometimes we have to get beaten up by material nature. And then we're eager to hear what to do, what to do. Who was that king? Whose child died poisoned by the co-wives.
Chitraketu.
Chitraketu, thank you. When you come through. As long as he was intoxicated by having such a wonderful child, he couldn't hear. Or even when he was focused on the desire to have a child, he couldn't hear. Although Narad Muni came, still he couldn't hear. But when his child died, then he could hear. So that's another answer to the question above. Does remembrance of the Lord begin by chanting? Sometimes the remembrance begins by being beaten up. We artar tarti jigyasu ganisha. Somehow, because of circumstances, the fortunate person, what is that in the Bhagavad Gita? Avisham. Bring me Bhagavad Gita. In the 6th chapter. Automatically, the person who's may have fallen from devotional service in the previous life becomes attracted to devotional service. Rubhabhyasena tena vihriyate hi avashopi saha. Yes. Automatically, he becomes attracted. His tendency to remember Krishna revives by some good fortunate chance. So that good fortunate chance also may be some misfortune. What appears to be misfortune is actually his good fortune. Yes. Yes, so the same person who's arrogant when he's puffed up with Janmaishvarya Shuta Shri, when deprived of all of his opulences, becomes humble. Therefore, Narad Muni wanted to curse the sons of Kuvera to become trees, just to benefit them, so that they would become humble and revive their eternal relationship with Krishna. They were fools pursuing some relationship with women for sensual enjoyment. So Nard cursed them, and they were intoxicated also. A person gets wealth, he becomes intoxicated. He's already intoxicated. I'm so great. The girls are all after me. I've got money. But when everything is taken away, then he may become humble. And then he becomes interested. All right, let me hear. Let me hear. So if we become humble without being smashed, that means what we call being ahead of the game. That why should I have to be smashed to become humble? Let me voluntarily become humble and hear. Hare Krishna.
Naveen Prabhu, are you available to read the chat from now on? We have some more things in the chat. The second part of Saraswati Mataji's question.
Naveen can't usually speak on his connection.
Oh,
It's somebody else.
Naveen Prabhu?
Yes, I can try. I think I actually joined a bit late, so I don't see Saraswati
Okay,
Machis.
I'll write the question here.
Okay, thank
Thank you, Prabhu. This is from Saraswati Mataji, the question I just wrote.
So Saraswati Mataji asks, also, is it the aroma of tulsi leaves that is referred to as saffron dust here?
That will be part of the uh, aroma of the Lord's lotus feet. That's mentioned when the Kumars in the third canto came in touch with the lotus feet of the Lord. That is, when they simply smelled the aroma of the tulsi leaves, they were awakened to devotional service. So, yes, the Lord's lotus feet, it's not separate that it was only by the aroma of the tulsi leaves, but as only, but it wasn't by the aroma of the tulsi leaves alone, but the tulsi is an integral part of the aroma of the Lord's lotus feet. The devotees smell the tulsi, they remember Krishna, or they taste the tulsi, they remember Krishna, because tulsi is always the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. So that's mentioned, that by smelling the tulsi. So yes, that's nice.
And we have a question from Barnali Prabhu. Hare Krishna, how to concentrate while chanting? I often get distracted.
Well, this is a great perennial topic, of course. There are useful books on this topic. Sachinandan Maharaj has written a book on chanting, Mahatma Prabhu, and before them, Satsvarup Maharaj has written several books concerning essentially this question: how can we focus on the chanting of the holy name without distraction? It's a matter of cultivation. It's a matter of practice. The sixth chapter again. Yato nischalati manas chanchalamastheram tatastato niyamyaita datmanyev vashamniye. Wherever the mind goes because of its restless, unsteady nature, one should bring it back to the under the control of the holy name. Ideally, we should have, these are practical things, a standard program for chanting. In the temples, there's an arrangement for chanting in the morning. At home, one can have an arrangement. It helps if there's a place free from distractions. If we're in the midst of distractions, with our phone sitting next to us, our computer on the desk, and so many things going on, then we're set up for distraction. So if you turn your phone off, you turn off your computer, keep it away, and you have a calm, quiet place for chanting. Maybe you have a temple room or a place that's dedicated for chanting. And the evening before, you've already thought that in the morning, I'm going to get up and chant with attention. And then you do get up early before things get, all the distractions start rolling in. Early in the morning is the least distracted time. So these are all favorable for chanting. And then you begin with the determination that now I have to chant nicely as far as I'm able. And Prabhupada told Jamuna Devi, no lists. She was chanting and then writing something down to remember later. Prabhupada said, no lists. Now that means no other business, just whatever it is. Later I can do it. It'll still be there 2 hours from now. So let me now put this time just for chanting Hare Krishna. There are many other thoughts about this. One can take advantage of these books by Satsri Raj and others. Hare Krishna. And pray for the mercy of the holy name, the mercy of Krishna, mercy of the spiritual mastery.
And there's a comment from Praveen Prabhu.
While I'm thinking of it before we get to that, and there's things that are not recommended. The recorded japa is not recommended by Srila Prabhupada. One devotee said, oh, Prabhupada, it's so nice that now we can listen to you while we're chanting. Prabhupada said, that's not good. So you should hear yourself chant. This recorded japa is not part of our the standard practice given to us by Srila Prabhupada. Try to hear yourself chant. Hare Krishna.
There's a verse from Praveen Prabhu in the chat. When the breeze carrying the aroma tulsi leaves from the toes of the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead entered the nostrils of those sages, they experienced a change both in body and in mind, even though they were attached to the impersonal Brahman understanding.
Radhavinda Kilchakra Mishra Tulsi Makarandavai. Yeah.
And there's a comment from Saraswati Devi. My daughter commented that sometimes I am chanting Krishna instead of Krishna. I didn't even realize I did that. And a question from Praveen Prabhu. Maharaj, can you share the reference for the no lists pastime? This will be very useful.
Trying to remember where I read it. It might be in the book. It might be in Dina Tarani's book about Jamuna, or it might have been in a book by Giriraj Maharaj. That's about the best I can do. I don't have it written down on no lists, but I read it, so it's there someplace written. Those were the likely places. It could also be in Dhanadhar Maharaj's book about chanting. I don't think so. Well, you could even look in the Veda base where there are other books by devotees and see if it's there. Let me just do a quick search for it and see if I find it. It's not really what I should do, but let's do it. No. I don't have a reference. My apologies. Shall we go on?
For the next verse, I can read if it's useful, but
Yes.
yeah, okay. Let's see, text 26. My dear sorry. Yasha Shivam Sushrava Arya Sangame Yadrichaya Chopashrunyoti Te Sakrit Katam Guna Gyo Viramed Vina Pashum Shrir Yat Pravare Guna Sangrithechaya. Translation. My dear, highly glorified Lord, if one, in the association of pure devotees, hears even once the glories of your activities, he does not, unless he is nothing but an animal, give up the association of devotees. For no intelligent person would be so careless as to leave their association. The perfection of chanting and hearing about your glories was accepted even by the goddess of fortune, who desired to hear of your unlimited activities and transcendental glories. Purport. The association of devotees, Arya Sangama, is the most important factor in this world. The word Arya refers to those who are advancing spiritually. In the history of the human race, the Aryan family is considered to be the most elevated community in the world because it adopts the Vedic civilization. The Aryan family is distributed all over the world and is known as Indo-Aryan. In prehistoric days, all of the members of the Aryan family followed the Vedic principles, and therefore they became spiritually advanced. The kings, known as Rajarshis, were so perfectly educated as Kshatriyas, or protectors of the citizens, and so greatly advanced in spiritual life, that there is not a bit of trouble for the citizens. The glorification of the Supreme Lord can be very much appreciated by the Aryan family. Although there is no bar for others, the members of the Aryan family very quickly catch the essence of spiritual life. How is it that we are finding it very easy to spread Krishna consciousness among the Europeans and Americans? History reports that the Americans and Europeans proved their capability when they were anxious to expand colonization. But at the present time, being contaminated by the advancement of material science, their sons and grandsons are turning into reprobates. This is due to their having lost their original spiritual culture, which is Vedic civilization. Presently, these descendants of the Aryan family are taking this Krishna consciousness movement very seriously. Others who are associating with them and hearing the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra from the lips of pure devotees are also becoming captivated by the transcendental vibration. Transcendental vibrations are very much effective when chanted among Aryans. But even though one does not belong to the Aryan family, he will become a Vaishnava simply by hearing the mantra, because the vibration has great influence over everyone.
Yes. This analysis is interesting. The Arya Sangame. So who is Arya? From one point of view, there's a family culture, an Aryan culture, which formerly was spread all over the world. The culture of those who are advanced. We see in human society that there are gradations of culture, and some cultures are more advanced. So the Prabhupada said the original culture was the Arya culture, the culture of those who were refined in following Varnashram Dharma and devotional service to the Lord. And members of that Aryan culture can very quickly advance in Krishna consciousness. Even if they've forgotten Krishna consciousness, they can quickly pick it up again. We see that practically in our preaching of Krishna consciousness all over the world. Wherever there are Indian people, they can join very quickly. if you're preaching in a college, the Indian students can quickly pick it up, and the other students may be more slow, because for the Indian students, it's already practically, as we say, in their blood. It's already there, the tendency to serve Krishna. So that's an advantage. Or Prabhupada looks at it in an extended sense. It seems that the Aryan family was all over the world, and even Prabhupada indicates that the Americans and Europeans, how does he say it? Yeah, Americans and Europeans are counted in there as descendants of the Aryan culture. Therefore, they were able to accomplish a lot in science and colonization in so many different ways because they're advanced, perhaps more removed than the original Aryans, because by Parshuram, the Aryans who had deviated from Aryan culture were kicked out. And we see that sometimes. I go to countries where people appear to be. You can practically see that there's some connection with Aryan culture, even though it's been lost or covered. So there's some tendency, therefore the descendants of the Aryan family are taking this Krishna consciousness very seriously, but then others associate with them and they hear from the lips of pure devotees and they become captivated. So it's not restricted. You have to be born in an Aryan family, otherwise you have to take birth again in an Aryan family. Those who are born in the non-Aryan families can surpass those who are. Sometimes Prabhupada said that the Indians are this close to Krishna, but they're looking out away from Krishna. And the Americans, I heard this, the Prabhupada said this, they're farther away from Krishna, but they're looking toward Krishna. So therefore they can become devotees. Anyone, Indian, non-Indian, Aryan, non-Aryan, if they associate with devotees, Arya Sangami, then by that association, they can become Krishna conscious. Aho bhakti swapachoto griya jiva vartate namatu. They're the best of the Aryans. Yaj jiva vartate namatubhyam. Those who have the holy name on the tip of their tongue have already surpassed the best of the Aryans. Therefore, we mentioned Haridas Thakur the other day, being honored by Advaita Acharya. So it's open for everyone. But the Aryans have a special advantage. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada would always quote Bharata Bhumite Manusha Janma Lojar Janma Sarta Kori Karo Upakar Paropakar. Those who are born in India should especially take advantage of this. But even those from anywhere in the world, any country, any culture, can take to Krishna consciousness and become so advanced that by their association, even the Aryans will become Krishna conscious. The non-Aryan comes in touch with pure devotees and chants the holy name, he becomes better than the Aryans. Then he can preach to the Aryans also, and they can become Krishna conscious. So we've seen that happen. That the so-called Aryans only become Krishna conscious by the association of those who don't come from Aryan families, but who are chanting Hare Krishna. So in any case, it's beyond all material designations. Hearing from the lips of pure devotees is essential. And by that hearing, one can remember one's eternal relationship with Krishna. Want to read on, Naveen?
Yes, I can
Maharaj Prithu points out that even the goddess of fortune, who is the constant companion of Lord Narayan, specifically wanted to hear about the Lord's glories. And for the association of the gopis, who are pure devotees, the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, underwent severe austerities. The impersonalist may ask why one should bother chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra continually for so many years instead of stopping and trying for kaivalya, liberation, or merging into the existence of the Lord. In answer, Maharaj Prithu maintains that the attraction of this chanting is so great that one cannot give up the process unless he is an animal. This is the case even if one comes in contact with this transcendental vibration by chance. Prithu Maharaj is very emphatic in this connection. Only an animal can give up the practice of chanting Hare Krishna. Those who are not animals but actually intelligent, advanced, human, civilized men cannot give up this practice of continually chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I don't have comments to add, but I guess there's also a comment from Saraswati Mataji in the chat I could read.
Hold on for a second. Just a comment here is that the way Srila Prabhupada explains it, even those who are pursuing impersonal oneness are compared to animals. They give up the chanting of Hare Krishna for silent meditation and merging into the effulgence of the Lord. So then they're compared, then they come in that category. Bina Pashun, animals, Pashu. This chanting was glorification of the Lord was taken up even by Lakshmi, who desired to follow in the footsteps of the gopis. So why would any serious person, fortunate person, why would anyone but an animal want to give up this chanting of Hare Krishna? Or we see that sometimes people become nice devotees, but if they give up the chanting, they become like animals. Material life means ahara, nidra, bhayamaitanamsha, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. So if someone gives up chanting of the holy name, he risks becoming an animal again, not only in the next life, but even in this life. And so one should always pray to the Lord, don't let me descend again to animal life. I was just an animal, maybe polished animal, but please don't let me become an animal again. Let me always be engaged in chanting your holy name. Here's a question there.
Saraswati Mataji asks, how can having the ability to colonize in cruel ways be a qualification to becoming an Aryan? Hitler wanted a race of Aryans and used the swastika as his symbol, but that didn't mean he was predisposed to becoming a devotee.
Misuse doesn't invalidate proper use. So the Germans were advanced. They were advanced in science. They were advanced in many ways. And so they became, prominent. Then, of course, it was taken the wrong way, that now we're powerful. Let us exterminate these people. Let us subjugate those people. Let us enjoy a higher standard of sense gratification. That's not appreciated. That's, again, giving up the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. If they'd taken up the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, they could have led the world without having to adopt barbaric means or materially based, materially motivated ideas. So it's misuse. The colonizers, colonizing is not bad, but when it's simply for exploiting and so on, becomes obnoxious. But it is a reflection that they have intelligence. What is that? Bhagavad Gita. Dushkritina. Kriti means merit is there, but dushkritin, it's being misused. But it's there, but misused. So in that way, Prabhupada's giving credit. Even to the Westerners, Americans and Europeans, what credit do they have creating a humbug, nasty, misdirected civilization? But Prabhupada's taking, no, something is there. There, even, what is that? Dead or alive, an elephant is worth a lakh. All right, there may be the degraded descendants of the Aryans, but something is there. Something is there. Or even today, the people are born in Indian families, but they don't follow the Indian culture. They follow some nonsense, materialistic culture. Still, something is there. So Krishna consciousness can be revived. So we have to find out that something which is there and take advantage of that something and turn it into genuine Krishna consciousness by associating and hearing from pure devotees. Hare Krishna. We're at the end of our hour. Hare Kirtan. Jagadish can lead Kirtan.
Maharaj, I think you might be muted.
Yes. Okay, so Jagadish can chant.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Om Srimad Paramahansa Parivraja Acharya Ashtottara Sri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Nam Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vaishnava Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadip Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Ki Jai Gangamai Ki Jai Jamanamai Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.
His Holiness Jayādvaita Swami Maharaj Ki.
Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Gurudev.